Microphone check 1 2. Let's let's kick the beat.
J Torch and friends. It's about to go down, baby. Yeah. Round and around and around. Yeah. When love goes around, it comes around. It comes around. Can't stop it. When love goes around, it comes around. Here it goes. Yeah. DJ Torch. DJ Torch. It's about to go down. Pull up a chair, the family's here. Voices are warm, the vibe is clear. Love goes around. Ooh, DJ Torch and friends, it's about to go down. Yeah. It's about to go down. Yeah. Laughter and truth, a gentle sound. Hearts open wide when the love goes round. Yeah. DJ Torch and friends, it's about to go down. Love goes around, it lifts, it flows. Love goes around and everybody knows. Love goes around from me to you. Love goes around, it always comes through. Yeah, yeah. Love goes around. We share, we laugh, we grow. Respect the space. Love goes around. That's our cue. It's not a party without you, without you, without you, without you. DJ Torch and friends, round and round and round it goes, love goes around.
All right, welcome everybody. We're about to get this show started.
Love goes around.
We're gonna play the remix though. Here we go.
Round and round and round it goes.
Break it down.
Love goes around. Oh. DJ Torch and friends. It's about to go down, baby.
About to go down, y'all.
Round and around and around. Yeah. When love goes around, it comes around. It comes around. Can't stop it. When love goes around, it comes around. Here it goes.
Here we go.
DJ Torch. DJ Torch. It's about to go down.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is DJ Torch on the 1 and 2s for you. On the 1 and 2s. You are listening to the Ghost remix of the DJ Torch and Friends live network right here. Let's get this party started. Here we go. I got to fast forward. I don't know what the music's about. Here we go. If you don't know, already know what's going on right now, what you're listening to is Nesto. Nesto is in prison, and Sonia is his technically his side chick slash supporter. I think, well, she was at side chick status for a couple years ago, but I think she's taken the main chick status because pretty much you know Mrs. Strawberry said no, she moved on. But I'm bringing this up for a very good reason because I want to show you the that the manosphere themselves is full of crap, and that they want you men to believe and women to believe that um, either black women don't choose correctly or they don't give men a chance. So basically, the polar opposites of both theories. What I mean is this: you've heard the term "you should have chose better," right? When Pookie comes along, or they get a divorce, or something goes wrong in a relationship, they said, "Well, you should have chose better." And then on the other end is when a black woman is cautious and turns men down, all of a sudden is, well, you should have gave the brother a chance. The bus, why what you should, why don't you date a bus driver? There's the light bill theory. So basically, the manosphere, who I believe fully controls the black male community at this time, they're either reflected or controlling the black male community. They will probably agree with me. They use an argument of polar opposites to try to control the narrative. And it's quite effective, and it's quite simple because, hey, if I choose Willie Hutch, I choose, hey, welcome Deontay. Deontay's in the house. Anyway, it's a very effective, very hypocritical strategy that works, because no matter what the narrative is, they'll use "you should have chose better," or "why didn't you give the guy a chance? Why didn't you give the criminal a chance? Because he can at least pay for the light bill. Why didn't you give the guy who was down and out, who you know treated his last woman wrong? Why don't you give him a chance? Because you never know. Why don't you bring the brother up? We've heard that one. You're supposed to build a man. Some people refer to building a bandit, right? But then if a woman is cautious, I mean, if is takes that chance and builds a bandit, or gives the light bill guy a chance, or gives the bus driver guy a chance, all of a sudden, if things go wrong, they go to the other side. Well, you should have chose better. That's what they do. That's how they sound. So let's bring the light bill dude on again. This is Nesto. Here we go.
I'll just be standing up the whole time, or you sit down. Like a little bum, yeah. Oh, they told you? Oh, no. Really?
Now, let me break it down. Sonya is somewhat fit, feminine, friendly, the whole bit. and has been by Nesto's side for the last 2 years. She's a decent looking woman. But he's a criminal, a career criminal. So you have to ask yourself this. Would she be wrong for just leaving him alone and trying to find somebody better? Only you can answer that. But I'll tell you one thing. Ladies, you have to play the odds. The best odd you can play is that a man's past dictates his future. If you give a man a chance, remind yourself, a chance means, to me, a chance means this. A chance doesn't mean like the guy's a little bit nerdy and, you know, you want to give him a chance because you're used to more, you know, masculine guys or more bummy guy, whatever, right? And you're giving a chance as far as trying somebody different. A perfect example of that would be Clay and Megan. Megan's not used to dating kind men. So technically, she's giving him a chance, even though, if you ask me, that's a pretty good chance. So, I also want to bring up something, a man that it appears has been forgotten from black men in the black manosphere. Let's see if I can. I don't have a volume for this. It's old, but just listen closely. This is somebody that's been forgotten in today's manosphere and in today's society. Let's hear what he says about black women, and then we're going to move forward. Here we go.
The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to respect our women and to protect our women. And the only time a Muslim really gets real violent is when someone goes to molest this woman. We will kill you for our woman. I'm making it plain, yes. We will kill you for our woman. We believe.
Now, let me play something else in contrast. Here we go.
With the Colombian hookers, that shit was hilarious.
Let me go back here. Yeah, here we go.
When the tables turn in your favor, and the narcissistic person is starting to lose, going to hurt, going to become very, very toxic, okay? I did. I'm not sorry for the things I did do. Let me explain what I mean. He's like, women have a way of not knowing how to let things go. You can give up the argument. You can let it go. They can know they've won. There's nothing else to be gained. They will continue to push and push and push. And he said, at that point, once you've exhausted all other options, then a slap becomes a good option.
So, let me play that one more time.
Push and push. And he said, at that point, once you've exhausted all other options, then a slap becomes a good option.
So the Kang Samuels is promoting men that it's okay to abuse women. I mean, that's what it is. You slap a woman, that's abuse. It's technically abuse. And the more you do it, the more that it's abusive. So, why am I playing these clips when I'm supposed to be focused on crime stories? Because it's this type of endorsement given by a large group of men online that, let's just say, doesn't help the situation. You have a situation where Malcolm X and the manosphere are at odds. Malcolm wants you guys to protect black women. You guys want to hit them. You heard Kevin. I didn't play it out of context. Yes, indeed, he did use an example of a white man telling you that he has to slap women when he just to calm them down by it appears. And he's justifying it. He's justifying abuse. And the men smiling in the picture. You got Chicago Rilla just supporting him. You got Anton who wants to throw women and children out with the bathwater. And Lapeef had the biggest smile on his face when Kevin said that. Oh, they're having a good old time. Community leaders. They actually gave a shout out to the late Kevin Samuels on BET. Community leaders telling you that it's okay to abuse women. Malcolm X is at odds with that. He said we're supposed to protect women. These men right here on screen want to promote abuse of women, whether you like it or not, or they realize they supported the message. Let me play it one more time, what Kevin said.
Explain what I mean. He's like, women have a way of not knowing how to let things go. You can give up the argument. You can let it go. They can know they've won. There's nothing else to be gained. They will continue to push and push and push. And he said, at that point, once you've exhausted all other options, then a slap becomes a good option.
Now, you're probably saying, well, Kevin didn't say he did it himself. Kang Samuels didn't say he just spent all that time explaining what an old white man said about how that old white man controls women. He wasted all that time doing that for why? That's why he's divorced. Because he probably exercised that description. This is what he did.
Explain what I mean. He's like, women go. You can give up the argument. You can let it go. They can know they've won. There's nothing else to be gained. They will continue to push and push and push. And he said, at that point, once you've exhausted all other options, then a slap becomes a good option.
A slap becomes a good option. Why would he say that? He's not a historian. What does that lead to? What does that Kang Samuels theory lead to? That what else? What else? What is he endorsing people to do? Oh, you know something? You know something? Yeah, he was talking about Sean Connery. He wasn't talking about Sean Connery. He was using Sean Connery as an example on how black men should treat black women. That's what he was doing. That's actually what he was doing. And actually, it doesn't even just, it's just not limited to black women as well. Let's see how that theory works with Bhad Barbie.
One of the most toxic relationships the game's ever seen has to be with Daniel the bully, aka the Catch Me Outside girl,
Catch me outside. How about that?
and her boyfriend. The
Oh, she got caught outside. She got caught outside.
and her boyfriend was gone. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the most toxic moments and rap's most toxic relationship. Now the viral meme turned rapper started dating LaVon back in July 2020, and he was featured in one of her YouTube videos that's since been taken down. It was in August 2023 when LaVon gave us the first glimpse into their relationship, posting this photo of the two of them. Then on December 1st, 2023, Danielle told the world she was pregnant, and the father of the baby was LaVon. Later that month, that baby was
So that's very interesting that she got pregnant so quick and shit, right? And black men have no problem, at least red pill black men, shaming black women, single mothers, but they usually use baby mama. They even call Brian McKnight's ex-wife a baby mama just to make sure they disrespect her as well, right? So, but I haven't heard them call Catch Me Outside girl Bhad Barbie baby mama. Nope. And they're not even married.
girl, and she was welcoming their child in March 2024. Now, sadly for the baby, if she ever looks back at what was going on when she was born, let's just say she wouldn't be proud of her parents. Because not only 2 months after the baby was born, the couple's toxic relationship started to gain attention online. Now, in July of 2024, that baby posted this video of her getting assaulted by LV.
Now, Bhad Barbie is maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. That dude is probably about double her weight.
Also posted her story saying, "This man thinks he's gonna take my daughter from me, say whatever you want, but trying to take my baby is crazy." And on top of this, she also posted something that took her eye. And at this
So remember what Kevin said, if a woman gets on your nerves enough, the only option is to slap a woman. Remember, he said that, right? He said that. You heard it. Rewind the tape if you need to. Yeah, she might be only 80 pounds. So he puts a baby in her irresponsibly. Then basically he's beating up on what he's beating up on what most black men see as a better option than black women. Not most black men, most black men in the manosphere, which is a non-black woman. The man chose this woman, and so look at her black eye. Look at it. Halloween is here. Winter is coming. You know who winter is coming for? Those women that have to deal with these types of men. Their winter 24/7, 365. That's what winter is. Winter is exactly this. Winter is exactly what a lot of these men with the red pill ideology bring you.
At this point, everybody was feeling really bad for her because it wouldn't. It's a girl who just gave birth and she's getting assaulted from her supposed to be man. It was only a couple days later when Bhad Baby said she was going to stay with LeVon, posting an Instagram story that's way too long for me to read, but I'll tell you the gist of it.
You know, it's funny because I don't see any of the red pill community telling this white girl that she should have chose better. And it's clear she should have chose better. I mean, it's freaking clear she should have chose better. Anybody in this situation should have chose better. She should have chose better. But you don't hear them talking about it, do they? Do we? Let me be clear. He beat the living shit out of this woman over and over again. Over and over again over, what, 4 or 5 years? So there's plenty of time for us to use her as an example of, well, you should have chose better, right? Regardless of race of woman, you haven't heard a peep out of them pillars. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
Guys, we all know about the drama going on right now about who kills a black man here. We've heard ABS, Dusty respond. We've heard NPR weighing on it. But you know, Kevin Samuels is not here to defend himself. And as a black manosphere insider, a guy who was, I would call myself the de facto leader of the community for many years.
So if you don't notice, that's O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back in the day, he used to go float around places looking for, ladies in blue dresses, ladies of the night. He went to Uganda, other places. Well, he wants to tell you a little bit something about another manosphere dude named Obsidian. Here we go.
While I was personally having my issues too, I'm not perfect. I want to talk about a creator who I felt was the gift and the curse, and that is Obsidian Media Island, also known as the Obsidian Media.
Now, let me stop right here. This man right here would talk the hardest shit about other women. Look how fucking feeble he looks in this video. I am not against a person who has had it hard in life or somebody who may not have all their faculties. But when you start to attack women and you're like this, I got a huge problem. So remember now, they're saying that this is the everyday brother. He is the voice of the everyday black man, right? Let me show you what this dude did. Let's keep going.
I think Obsidian the network influenced me. I would go on and say that he influenced Angry Man. He is absolutely the first person that we all know about that adopted the Patreon method. Most people don't know the Black Manosphere guys was the first guy on Patreon, and Obsidian was the first guy on Patreon. And I saw in 2015. Patreon is widely adopted now, but he was one of the earliest adopters to that policy. And he influenced everybody to get on Patreon. Angry Man, I joined later. But the reality is that as good as Obsidian was, he was pretty stuck, okay? He was pretty stuck. And,
Yes, he was using the F word, but it was blanked out. Here we go.
I was going to take this to my grade, but I just want to put this out there that Obsidian was not that cool. This is not to say that he wasn't a nice person all the time or he didn't have things going on. Obsidian was sort of like a scammer, in my honest opinion.
That's from another Manosphere guy. So O'Shea is basically broke it down, and this is only 8 months old, by the way. Basically, O'Shea is calling Obsidian a scammer. Now, why is he calling Obsidian a scammer? I mean, compelled to, because really, by quite honestly, people can say, oh, he's a scammer, but let me just stay in my lane or whatever. They can say that. No, he made a point of putting it in one of his popular videos, got 30,000 views. So the thing is this. He's not scamming black women. He's not scamming black women. So who is he scamming? There's only one other gender, right? So who's he scamming? He's not scamming Romulans. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
There was a time, you guys remember, Obsidian called an electricity. Now, it was $1,500.
There is no way in the world you're getting a $1,500 bill for 1 month at your house, or even 2 months. So he hadn't been paying for a long time. Maybe that's where he, let's just keep it going. Here we go. So basically, let's say this. Number 2. So number 1, Kevin promoted violence. Number 2, Obsidian promoted scams. Or at least that's what, Duke Jackson was saying. And 3, Obsidian is broke, because if you have $1,500 to pay for the light bulb bill, you just pay it. But he's past due $1,500, right? So we have some facts. We got some facts, I think, we work in here, or at least alleged facts. At least alleged facts. So being a Manosphere dude appears to be abuse on black women. We got that down. And that's against what Malcolm X was saying. So Kevin was against Malcolm X, theoretically was against Malcolm X, because Malcolm X did not condone violence against black women. In fact, he was the opposite, that those men, regardless of race, if you violate black women, Malcolm X was saying you should be, So then O'Shea, who's had his digressions in the past, lady in the blue dress, old heads will know what I just said. Anyway, then we have Obsidian, who is beyond the light bill dude. So let me keep it going. Here we go.
This is the same guy who was screaming, super checks, all of this, and then literally, or a guy who got himself into debt. Now, I understand that at the time, he was able, he hurt himself and stuff, so he got into the business. But at the same time, Obsidian was out here, castigating brothers for not donating to his old $1,500 electricity bill that it wasn't that nobody else did, he did. If you guys still remember that, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm giving a dude a reason why somebody would not want to be associated with the sphere anymore based off this, okay? So,
And you shouldn't be. I mean, we've shown you enough. There's enough information out there that the manosphere it shouldn't be an option. There's that tiny sliver of the manosphere, which is for self-help or for building yourself or for self-improvement. That tiny sliver is somewhere out there, but it's not here right now. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
after that, this is something else that you guys don't. Me overturned on you just the other day. Mentioned how Kevin Samuels is helping other creators.
Another content creator, I believe his name, Obsidian, who
Right. Now, remember we're talking about a man who condones abuse on women, Kevin Samuels. You heard him say it. Endorsing other men that other manosphere men call a scammer, that have their own digressions, as they admit. You can see that we're stacking shit up here. We're stacking shit up. We are stacking shit up here. We are stacking negative characteristics found in men. Negative characteristics, and all of these men that I have mentioned are leaders in this manosphere. You got Fresh and Fit, this dude right here, angry man. There's no Let me keep it going.
became a millionaire after Kevin shouted out his books.
Now you see, Kevin Samuels mentioned Obsidian book, right? Obsidian
And the funny thing is this: if he became a millionaire, where in the did all that money go? So, on top of that, they're terrible with money. They're terrible with money. If he made $1 million, where'd it go? Let me keep this going. Now, Obsidian is back on YouTube. You're probably wondering, well, what happened? What happened? So I'm going to give you a quick refresher, and then we're going to move forward. This is what happened.
All right, here's a question. Tim, what's going on with you and the manosphere? Girl, nothing. All I do is say two things, like, a man is not an accomplishment. Being a pick me won't get you picked. Being successful in dating is not about being the most beautiful, and they get mad, they get out. Hey.
Let me pause it right there. And that's all that she basically did. Really, quite honestly, if there's anybody who minded their own business and didn't really take shots at the manosphere, it was her. She was just minding her own business. She, compared to like other, content creators, including myself, she shouldn't even been on their radar. But since they got built, since their characteristics that I just went over, remember, violence from Kevin. Kevin said that violence is okay. If a woman won't stop arguing with you, you heard him say it's okay to slap a woman, right? Obsidian was a scammer. O'Shea said he was. I'm not saying he was. I never said he was. O'Shea said he was. O'Shea said he was a scammer. Okay? And now we have Obsidian, who's back on YouTube. So, old Obsidian, you know, I talk shit about, this is the funny thing. I was talking shit about Obsidian, I don't know, a lot because I didn't like his vulgar approach towards women. It was disgusting. He sounded like the problem more like than the solution. He didn't bother me. You might have had some goons follow me, but other than that, no. But then he chose to do something like this. See, he came back to YouTube talking some bullshit, and I need to straighten that out. Welcome, Pink Boy Queen, and of course, we got Deontay in the house. So let me go ahead and break this down. So this is about as bad as it gets. This is about as bad as it gets. When you get women ganging up on other women, even though it's completely clear that the man is wrong. Let me spin Chez for a minute. Hey Chez, how you doing? Here we go.
I didn't really know anybody. I knew nothing about anything. I was just kind of just curious about. And so he got wind of my content, invited me to collaborate, and then from that point, he used to be different content creator. So my personal interaction with Mr. Obsidian has been nothing but positive. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that he says. I also talk to people all the time that I don't 100% agree with. However, I do know that he's a very controversial figure. There are quite a few people, even in the manosphere space, who do not agree with him. Manosphere is definitely not a monolith. So it's not uncommon to have people online feud over ideals, over different points of view. That's par for the course, right? That's essentially what we do on YouTube. But every so often, lines are crossed. And this is what happened in the case of Mr. Obsidian and Kimberly Nicole Foster, right? They had been going back and forth over months, and it got so bad that it was going into litigation. I think it's currently still in litigation, and also resulted in the deletion and removal of both channels that Obsidian owns. As far as I know, he will not be returning to the YouTube platform, and is now taking his channel and doing things online. Now, when you listen to the story, there's really a back and forth, right? And then things that
So basically, whatever he did, YouTube wasn't having it. YouTube wasn't having it. Now, from my understanding, YouTube suspensions, depending on what they're for, are pretty permanent. But he appears to be back. Whether it's legit or not, we'll find out, because sooner or later those YouTube bots, they make their they make their rounds, my man. They make their rounds. They will come. What goes around comes around. Those YouTube bots, they might chew away. They might have some white supremacists to take down before they get to back over to Obsidian. But they'll come around. If you will find out whether he's legit or not in a little while. But what bothered me was that it appears that Obsidian never learned his lesson, because he came on here and he's trying to scam our intellect. I'm not going to say he's trying to scam, but he's trying to scam our intellect. What I mean is this: he's trying to say, "Oh yeah, it was the left wing, the left wing YouTube and all this kind of shit." And if that's the case, then why the fuck are you back on YouTube? if you didn't like the left wing vibe coming from YouTube, and it was the administration, they wanted me gone and all that. That's basically that's what you were trying to say in so many words. If that was the case, then why did you come back? Because didn't you want to keep it real? You know, put 10 toes down. So you came back for a reason. And you know something though? You know what I found out? One of your boys, they'll break it down for you right now. Here we go.
I don't know what's going on there, but there's male model, male strippers in there with their junk out and stuff goes down. And some of it got recorded, and he associated that to her because he played a video of her saying she wanted to host some sip and paint party. He basically said, "Uh-oh, she's doing the sucking paint thing," and then played the actual videos of the sucking paint party.
I wonder if YouTube remembers that. Huh. So basically what he did is he got there are several things that he did, or Obsidian did, that you could say he did enough things that you can't really know exactly why YouTube took him off. There was like 4 or 5 things. He was stalking. He was allegedly stalking her boyfriend. They were allegedly doxing her. They were allegedly showing worse than doxing is what Bernard is explaining, where he basically defamed her in so many words. Let's let Bernard explain it, so you're not hearing it from a so-called feminist. Here we go.
Also, guy with junk blurred out, and they're also sucking. I don't know if a whole lot of painting took place. It wasn't art. It wasn't evil right there in the general vicinity of the sucking. So maybe some painting got done. I don't know, but it was a wild out video. The Obsidian played it and had a good time with it, and that's what happened. Yeah, in the words of game changer, it was basically blurred out porn. You put blurred out porn on YouTube.
There you go. So this is your manosphere leader right here. So far, I've shown you men that basically are so disgusting that they promote abuse of Black women psychologically and physically. Now you see where I'm going with this, don't you? Now you see where the crime stories, the Halloween stories come from. These are the same niggas, same mentality, putting Black women down, both figuratively and realistically in the community. You guys were like, "Oh, I didn't want to come here for some manosphere bullshit." You have to understand, before I can start showing you the horror stories and the nightmares and the Halloween, you need to see where it comes from. Because if all of these men in the manosphere were fighting to make brothers better, shit wouldn't be like it is now in our community. They're that large of a group of people. But as you can see, all I've brought are scammers, abusers, and defamers, to the point where they get bounced, whether it was legitimately only temporary or not, bounced off of YouTube.
Let's hear how she describes it.
Like I said, this is my workplace. Where else is
There's your confirmation. There's your confirmation in why this is important is this. You guys call this motherfucker your leader. A dude who literally breaks policies on YouTube, you're supposed to look up to. And if you, how should I put it? If you support that, then what does that say about you? For real though, what does that say about you? If you support slapping a woman, like Kevin said, if you support scamming, like O'Shea said about Obsidian, and if you support corn bombing a woman who doesn't even know you freaking exist. And this is the guy you want to follow to go out to all those little fancy, don't give me that crap about, oh yeah, we're here to make men better. You think teaching men how to corn bomb women, how to slap women, how to scam is making black men better? You're telling me that is supposed to be the way other black men are supposed to be. Because remember now, actions speak louder than words.
Blurred out porn playing with a video of her talking right next to the blurred out porn. All right. Hold on, we gotta blow it up on this first.
Somebody to put your face next to porn in your workplace.
Oh, and, shout out to number 16. You have to see his name in the upper right-hand corner. Shout out to all the people.
Let me fast forward. Let me show you what. Okay, so basically, let's get to the beat. This is what he put up.
So, he said what it was. Copyright claims or fair use, all of that is protected. It's protected legally. It's protected under YouTube community guidelines. Plain blurred out porn is not protected under YouTube community guidelines and is not protected legally.
This I wanted to make sure you saw so we can prove that he lied to you guys about the political crap of why he was bounced from YouTube. This is coming from another red pill dude. This is not coming from some dude like me who people call a feminist or whatever. I don't care. He's telling you the truth while Obsidian lied straight to your face. And you're going to run over to him like a bitch. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
Right there. There's some more that I'm going to pull up. But I want to show, something that I'm not going to play. Remember when he looked at the camera and said, if y'all play it again, it will get taken down. That it is this right here. That video right here.
There you go. So that's proof enough. Let's keep.
Y'all seen that thumbnail? That's the iceberg that fucked the Titanic right there. That video. I'm not gonna play it, but that's the one. That's literally it.
So there's your political issue right there. That's what, if no matter what kind of BS, what kind of lie you want to hear from Obsidian, that's why he's not, he had his little departure from YouTube. Now let's keep going. So we know that the Red Pill men, they promote violence against Black women. They promote DV. They promote scams. They promote corn bombing on YouTube. They promote violating YouTube policies. Do they really sound like good leaders to you? Does that sound like good leadership to you? Really? I mean, ask yourself. I'm not pausing because I forgot something. I'm pausing to let you guys think about it. Maybe it causes shit like this.
Out of 10 is a man that comes along with those 4 kids. Got a boyfriend from there. So him being rejected and then violating the system by groping her, her getting upset, led to him clapping her dead in her face. Boom, boom, boom. Because he got it.
That's what the manosphere does. They teach men to do this.
Because I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, yo, my wife goes to the store every single day. That could absolutely be my wife, my sister, my niece, my daughter.
Oh, so you would think that the best thing, because a man going to prison for deleting a woman is, that's not what you want, right? So you would think in the manosphere they'd be teaching men how to keep their tempers controlled and be, tell their expectations. If you get turned down, just move on to the next. No, check this out. Let me pause that.
Sometimes these damn exes don't want to let you go. That's the case of this story also. Now you gotta ask yourself right here, what can make a man, yes, break into his ex-girlfriend's house, hide out in the closet, yes, for over an hour, and then ultimately kill the new boyfriend? That's what we call down south in Texas a damn shame. Now think about this. Now, if you don't move on with your life and you're not with the person no more, why are you stalking me? Why are you breaking into my home? Because on one hand,
Sounds like a good question to me. I think we all can agree this guy right here on the screen is a bandit because he basically put down, he shot another man, right? So this poison that the manosphere delivers to their constituents, which are mostly men, poisons the community to a point where it starts affecting the crime rate in a very, very, very dangerous and negative way. And I know it took us an hour to get here. Welcome to the crime stories. Let's get started. Here we go.
Man, you would think if you're not in a relationship with a person anymore, you're not with them, what the hell are they bringing to your house for? And also, what more do they want from you? But this story also going to show you that some people don't know they have till it's gone. And also, some people don't mix their water until their well run dry. But it don't matter how you feel. It don't matter how much you mix that water. When it's over, it's over. You have to learn to say goodbye. Now, also,
This is what this man said here, Trey King said, is what at the very least 80% of the manosphere should be teaching their men is how to control your temper, how to know when to move on. This is number one, because now you live in a community of literally frightened Black women. If you can't see the logic into what this man is saying right here, get a therapist.
you have to understand this right here. How are you going to jeopardize your freedom, your livelihood for somebody who don't want to be with your ass no more? That just be for real. Because as we all know, we have people like that in the world who think once mine is always mine. But guess what?
And that is the problem that has been taught in the manosphere is the owners. See, what they do is this. What the manosphere does is this. They inherit slave owner mentality and they target women with it. You belong to me. That's why a lot of Black men, they don't mind making you pregnant because now they feel like they can come back anytime they want. That's what they think. So what's happening is with Black men with the red pill ideology, they have a slave owner's mentality. Black slave owners. They might act nice to you here and there, but when they feel like they got you, or they get you pregnant, or they get you under control, if they get you isolated, which works into another psychological thing, then the real them comes out. That's why the capabilities of a Black woman, or any woman for that matter, choosing better is a science that will never be resolved, because the bottom line is this. It's like buying a lemon. It works fine for a while. A lemon is what they call a car that goes bad later on. Dudes go bad. They're bad. Really, they're bad at the beginning, but you don't find out until later because they're able to win Emmys and awards with their acting. Kind and nice at the beginning, but then later on, when they feel they have control over you, the real them comes out.
But though, life does not always work that way. Sooner or later, if you don't learn to let that person go, guess what? Something is going to happen to you, that person, or to their new boo. Let's begin.
The man is arrested after investigators say he hid in his ex-girlfriend's closet and killed her current boyfriend. This man, Shiatik Wilson, is now facing a murder charge.
In our family, this incident had just taken place this past Sunday around 2 o'clock a.m. One was reported that 23-year-old Shiatik Wilson had broken into his ex-girlfriend's home with hopes of, yes, rekindling their relationship. But little did Shiatik Wilson to know that his ex-girlfriend had already moved on and got her a new boo. Now, you gotta ask yourself this also. Why would you bring it to this girl home? When I say girl, I don't mean any disrespect. Some want to say woman. Why would you bring it to this woman home knowing that she's not with you no more, and also that she got her another man? Now,
Yep. I think we can safely say that one of the top genres in the manosphere is basically those who can't let go. Because really, quite honestly, think about it. It's at least 33% are those men who can't let go of some woman who either rejected them or broke up with them and moved on. Now, the manosphere could teach these men how to move on and find a better match. No, they don't do that. You know what they do? They disparage women. And let's keep going because it gets worse.
And the very next day, police searched more and abandoned school. There was no sign of this stuff in that area. A tip led police back to that same area 4 days later, and that's when Scott's body was found. Then King faced another round of charges. That brings us to this afternoon, when police announced a third set of charges against King. He's facing about 20 charges in all, including murder, abuse of court, arson, stalking, and robbery.
Investigation far from over. Court documents give us a closer look at the last text messages leading up to her disappearance and death.
Why does this have to be a common thing?
Live in Germantown, where the city hosted a safety meeting, blocks away from where Scott's body was found. What did they say about the case, Diana?
Fred, great question. Because the first thing that Mayor Sherelle Parker said was that she was not going to get into the investigation or give details about the investigation of the crime. But what we are able to see with the court documents was that.
Let me stop it right there because this was a woman who was submissive to that man. Look what it got her. Look what it got her. Look what submission got her. Dude still shot her straight in the head. Doesn't that affect you guys any? I mean, don't you want to like say, hey, maybe disrespecting black women is fucked up? Don't you want to say that? Don't you want to be on the side of Malcolm X?
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to respect our women and to protect our women. And
Is it? You guys have a problem with that? Because obviously you do. The stats bear it out. Medium man, how about that? How about you? You show stats on every other things like baby mamas and all that other shit. Why do you show stats on DV in our community? Show them what the men in our community do to our women. How about that? How about that? Why don't you play this to your men in your on your show?
The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to respect our women and to protect our women.
So what kind of protection are you giving? Red pill dudes? It doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. I got more for you. I got more tape. I got more tape. So remember now, your next knee-jerk reaction would be something like, she wasn't submissive. She was extremely submissive. He wanted sex. She was ready to give him some sex. He still killed her, still deleted her. Still did. Doesn't that bother you guys? That even when a woman does what you want them to do, they're still destroyed. Here's another example.
Some people might hear this story and say, it's another reminder that some people don't change. They're smarter and hiding who they really are. You ever feel that something ain't right in your relationship? Trust your spirit before you think. The love should never come with fear. Manipulation. In Mississippi, in the last 24 hours, a man who was on the run has finally been captured. And that before tragedy was struck. Of course, they allegedly killed and killed. I was have to post the message. And what makes this story even more disturbing that this is the same man who had a violent past, a long criminal history that most people didn't even know about.
No, wait a minute. We're supposed to give him a chance, right? We're supposed to give him a chance. He can pay the light bill. He can drive a bus. We're supposed to give him a chance. That's what the manosphere wants us to do. Ladies, give this ex-criminal a chance. Of course. Yeah. So who cares if he's lived a life of violence and that scientifically there's no way that he's not going to be violent. I hear that. So if he got 15 years, right, for literally stabbing somebody in the head, then how many years should this young lady get? Look at Alicia Andrews, the queen of submissiveness. Submissive to her boyfriend to the point where she could be going to prison for the rest of her life. It doesn't matter. I mean, to me, it's like, it doesn't matter. I mean, matter that much if she was in the gang or not. She was, I mean, it sounded like she helped dude out a little bit. I think that she should have been, see, and this is where the choosing better thing should have come in. But let's just listen a little bit. Let's listen in a little bit. Here we go. Alicia Andrews.
Okay, and that would be the address car or was someone with you?
When we responded, I was alone on the patrol area.
Okay, and was there another patrol car or other patrol officers that were responding in their cars to that area?
Yes, sir.
And was this occurring at around 6:40 a.m.? Does that sound right?
So basically, let me get right to my point. This dude right here, though he was in the gang, he still had the opportunity to his woman to show leadership. Sorry, I got something in my throat, which are facts. Instead of keeping his woman safe, he drags her along on a drive-by shooting, which ended up being a drive-by shooting. How much she's involved, we don't care about that part. What we care about is we know she wasn't the ringleader, and we know her boyfriend dragged her there. Yet, we want to be bragging about leadership and protection. He led her into a life sentence and probably could have got her shot, because if the other guys got were able to get their weapons out, it would have went back and forth. That's how much he cared about her. He put her in harm's way. Whether she was in on it or not doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that if he told this young lady, you know something, you need to stay in Jacksonville or wherever they were first, because they drove a ways, right? Wherever they were first, if he told this woman to stay there, act natural under pressure in the house, good seeing you. If he told her to stay put, she wouldn't be in this predicament. Is showing himself very well in a dead end case. Maybe he can cut them hours down a little bit, those years down a little bit. I don't think she'll get, life, but it's on the table. Where's our leadership, fellas? Where's our leadership? Where's this leadership you're saying that we bestow? Why women are supposed to be submissive to us? Where's our leadership? Where's it at? I mean, look, she's a pretty young lady. Yeah, she should have chose better. Yeah. But where's the man being a man? And saying, look, it's bad enough that, okay, she chose bad. Where's the part of the man? What type of manhood was lost where you can't even tell or protect your own woman who is so submissive, she threw her life away for you? She should have been dating this guy right here. The lawyer. That's who she should have been. That's who she should have got with the lawyer. Too late now. He's putting up a good fight, but it's going to be a fight. Yep. Let's see what the brother has to say. Maybe, you guys, the thing is this, I think things has gotten worse for me when I show good black men on my channel because it makes all the other men that were complaining about why didn't you play good black men look worse because they're not. They're not lawyers. They're not rocket scientists. They're not robotics men. They're not any of those. So it makes them look worse. It makes you good dudes look worse.
Ultimately, the evidence that presented shows nothing about Alicia Andrews.
You know why she didn't, why these dudes didn't, and it's funny to me because you would think that the manosphere, right? The first thing they would do is when they see a good black man like this, they would at least clout chase the good black man. You would think that, right? Here we go. This guy is a successful lawyer in a very bad case, very bad situation. He put in the work. He put in the work. He became a lawyer. That shit takes like 8 years and shit. And how many of those dudes have been like saying, oh man, this brother right here, he's trying to protect this woman, blah, 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 or defend her. That's the kind of men we should be, No. Mm-mm. No. You're over on Angry Man's channel, him and his crusty self. You're on Obsidian's channel and him and his crusty self. You ain't on his lawyer's channel. A man who's really literally the example we want in our community. You're not on his channel. No. You are on dudes' channels that are so heinous, they get their channels taken from them. Yeah. Literally, you're on a man's channel telling you about relationships. And they themselves tell you they failed. Kevin failed. Angry failed. You don't even know the name of this lawyer.
Knowing that individuals ended up shooting because that plan, no evidence that showed nothing going to happen, that she planned it with these individuals, that she discussed it with these individuals. There's only circumstantial evidence that has her at or around the scene, only circumstantial evidence that has her at or around people who are making phone calls to other people at times that don't connect, at times that assuming there were connected calls and there was conversations being had.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with him that there's a lot of hearsay shit going down in this case. I was kind of shocked. I was really shocked on how little the lead detectives knew about these so-called gangs. and that I do agree that they were expressing gang behavior, but it wasn't like any of them, the gang members, which I think he should bring up, really had an extensive gang experience. Isaiah Chance, even the head dude, don't get me wrong, he had gang behavior, but he doesn't have a gang history. They don't have any arrests of these guys that are related to gangs. The ones that did do the dirt and were violent before, they weren't even connected to a gang. So the problem that they're going to have is this. They going in on this girl hard. I don't know why, because she obviously was just a tag along. Now, if you want to get her for tagging along, and trying their best to appear to be, you know, making this deletion happen, fine. But if they're a gang, they're a shitty ass gang. I'm just gonna say it. If they're a gang, they're a shitty ass gang. So for some reason, I guess they're trying to lock her down to a certain amount of years, and that if you are in a gang, then that happens. But look, how many women date men that are in gangs? I was thinking that she had some logistical relevance or significance. Anything she did, if she did do something to try to help them, and then you want to say that was enough, fine. But if she wasn't there, they were still going to do it. It wasn't like what she did made it fucking happen. She was like a tag along. Now, you could put her in prison just because she was that stupid to do it, to be there, around there, but she was just a tag along, following the manosphere code of, you know, the manosphere code of you know, the light bill and the bus driver, and to be so submissive that beyond logic, you help these motherfuckers out. Act natural under pressure. Wait, what happened to writing and dying? I thought it was a pick me portal. They definitely are doing that. She might have been, she rid with him. She could have died with him. And she might die in prison for all we know. That's what we know. But I want to break it down even further. I want to, you know, let's switch it up. Well, let's switch it up. Remember this guy right here? Here we go. Okay, let me go back and let Nikki break it down for you for a minute.
Last year, I was trying to throw my daughter like a slumber party. And once again, no one lives in the household. It's just me and my daughter. And like I communicated with one of the mothers, like just to see if she can get the ball rolling, because she know a bunch of more mothers and whatnot. And I asked if she feel comfortable with her. And as I was talking, she straight up interrupted me. No, I don't feel comfortable with that at all. And like I said, because I'm a man, and she understood, she was understood. So like, yes, and I'm like, that really made me that really did make me feel some type of way. So I expressed my, not even frustration. I was really sad, and I expressed that with other women.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Remember when Kevin Samuels talked about that, the 15-year-old daughter thing? Remember that? Let me see if I can put that in the mix. Let me see if I can put that in the mix. Hold on one second. Hold on. Okay. 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 Here we go. Okay. Hold on one second. Because I think this is a good mix right here. This is going to be a good old mix. Paste. Okay. So
But let me turn it up. You heard? No.
so this is what this reminds me of right here. Dang. Where's it at? Give me 1 second here. Okay, that's Nikki. Wait, is that a different? Okay, for some reason won't show. But let's keep it going. Here we go.
And then like where one thing you gotta see where she's coming from and blah blah blah, this and that. And
All right, so we're going to pause it right there. This father is going viral right now because he was upset that he wanted to throw a slumber party for his daughter, and none of the women wanted to allow their children to stay with him. He is a single father. He has a daughter that lives with him, and according to him, the daughter wanted to have this sleepover. Now, a lot of people started to have discourse about this. People felt as though why wouldn't he understand that people wouldn't want this to happen in the first place? And there started to be conversations on both sides of the fence where there was several people who said, oh, I was raised with a single dad. I had sleepovers all the time. My dad wasn't weird. Then you had other people who said they feel as though if he offered the idea of a sleepover, that the other mothers should have volunteered to sleep at his house. Now,
We're not even done yet. It gets even more weird. Check this out.
now, when all of this conversation started to happen, then people started to dig further into his background and talk a little bit more about him. Now, this guy, Mark Anthony, is a TikToker. He has done TikTok for several years now. And he's always talking about different topics, whether it's him being a single father, him talking about his behind being large, him talking about how he's 5'4" in stature, and how he has a relationship with black women, white women, how his baby mama is a white woman, and how now he wants to date black women, and so on and so forth. But what got the internet talking was this video where he came to social media stating that he was depressed and he was very sad because he was not able to have a sleepover for his child. Now, as I stated, people started to dig into his background and they realized that not only is this a guy that is seemingly like out of tune and out of touch with reality, but they also noticed that he had this mugshot on his page plastered several times. He had
Uh-oh. So the plot thickens. I'm reading the mugshot now, and it says Mark A. J. D. birth, date of birth, and then it says domestic abuse, battery, and child endangerment. Now, I don't know about you, but a person with that kind of resume, I don't think I'm going to drop my kids off to his house. You know, I don't think I'm going to drop my kids off to his house. I don't know why. I mean, look, why not, throw fate to the wind, whatever you want to call it. He seems like a nice guy, right? domestic battery and child endangerment.
Videos where he's kind of like bragging that he has this mugshot, and he has videos where he's gloating about the charges that he has as well. Now, if you guys are wondering what the charges are associated with this mugshot, it states that he has a DV charge, a DV, like a domestic battery charge, child endangerment, and false imprisonment. He took to the internet and
I don't know about you, but that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I mean, you would think, and the scary part is not that he has all those charges, but he thinks bragging about those charges and then asking women to bring their girls over to him is not a problem.
he did several videos where he's dancing with this mugshot. He's turning up, he's laughing, he's sticking his tongue out, and he's having a jolly good time, basically gloating that he has this charge and this mugshot. Now, he also took to his social media to explain why he got the mugshot and everything like that as well. Let me play a little bit of this video, and then we're going to go into how people then found his TikTok page. They found that he has an OS account, a Telegram account, and how he has his bareback behind on the internet. They started to post the footage in the video of him where he is in his bathroom and he got the camera showing his backside and he's like playing with his derriere.
Okay. The consensus is I got my friends in the chat and my friends on the text, and they're all saying, nope, no, 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 no. I mean, the thing is, and the scary part even hasn't even happened yet. Wait, check this out. Nikki, break it down.
On top of that, people found all of the comments that he would make on his Twitter account and all of the weird, questionable videos that he would also make on TikTok. But before people started to do a deep dive about his background, his questionable behavior, there was a lot of women who were taking up for him and they were advocating for the fact that women should allow their child with him. Now, when
You got to be kidding me. Okay, remember now, they didn't even have to look for its background because he bragged about it on TikTok as well, about his charges of domestic abuse and child endangerment. What now, those women that still would take their kids over to his house, that's a problem. That's a problem. That is for sure. What more do you, I think it has to do with our community being accepting of, degenerates, but that's enough right there not to even, that's enough that you would want to block him if you have kids. I don't care how entertaining he might be.
clicked on his Twitter account and I seen him spread his cheeks and almost kind of making them clap. And when I seen all of the different pictures and videos where he would be like wearing super tight pants and trying to show his behind, I'm like, it didn't even need all of that for me to know my child would never go to his house. But like I said, there was a lot of women who were taking up for him. Now, this is just a sample of like the type of content that he would do on his social media, where he would turn around and, be twerking. And then he also has videos where he would go and he would be like propping his behind up and doing the splits. Now, again, I didn't need to see any of this to know that my child would never go to his house.
I mean, he's obviously got some issues because he brought it up later. It came up later that basically he was, SA'd by a woman when he was young, and that's I'm sorry that happened to him, but that just unfortunately that makes you incapable of having little girls over to your house because unfortunately, those who have been men who have been assaulted when they were young have a high probability of being turning into monsters themselves. That's probably one of the top things is like it's not fair that life, gave you those types of situations, but it is what it is. I mean, those if young ladies, I know I'm not even giving you advice. I'm just telling you, look up the stats on when men are abused when they were younger. Their odds of really, their odds of abusing others, look how high it goes. You have to understand that you're putting your children in danger 90% of the time with those types of men. It's just the way it is. It's just the way the numbers come out. There's some switch that gets clicked that turns them into monsters. So you really don't have much to work with. Let's just put it that way. There's no reason for you to move forward. There's no reason for you to consider a some sort of a night thing. Let's put it that way. Let me drop the link for the last couple of minutes. So I'm gonna drop that real quick, just in case somebody wants to jump up. But you think that was weird? I got some more stuff, but here let's have this person.
So, mugshot marketing, single father and TikToker is saddened at the fact that women would not allow their daughters to come to his house for a sleepover with his daughter. Mugshot Mark, your feelings are irrelevant. Mugshot Mark, you were a victim of SA yourself as a child, so I'm actually quite confused at the fact that you would even want to host a sleepover with all females. You know personally that predators are not just men. Predators can be men, women, or even other children. And although you may be a stand-up guy, mugshot Mark, most parents, myself included, are unwilling to roll the dice with the safety of their little girls.
Mm.
I've been married for almost 20 years. My daughter just turned 17 and she has never been to a slumber party. Our daughter is doing just fine, mugshot Mark, and I'm sure your daughter will be just fine as well without that experience. A parent's duty is to protect his children from danger seen and unseen. And for that very reason, slumber parties are an automatic no in my household. Like, repost some of your thoughts in the comments.
No lies there. Not one lie. So let me break down one more. So basically, the name of this person is another Marcus, by the way. Marcus from Atlanta Street Interviews. And like, he had this big thing going on, which could have been cool if he was up on the up and up. But basically, it looks like to me that he is using um, the YouTube channel appearing to seem like he's trying to, show you how it is in the street and be helpful on bringing awareness to, unprotected women while he was one of the predators himself.
So something happened. I was just like, I blacked out somewhere. Like, it was so I called him to ask him to post a video because I stood outside, right? I thought I called him to ask him to post a video on YouTube.
Let me read this real quick. This is deep. As we were going over the other Mark, the guy who wants to have the sleepovers, get this. The father, I'm reading that this is other news of a different situation. The father daughter sleepover scandal refers to a 2023 incident in Lake Oswego, Oregon, where a father, Michael Maiden, okay, was convicted of drugging his daughter's 12-year-old friends with sedatives during the sleepover. The case gained significant public attention due to the disturbing nature of the abuse of trust. And this is one of the main reasons why sleepovers are a big no-no. Because you never know. You never know.
So he picked me up. He was like, I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna give you a 2-day trial. I'm gonna give you a 2-day trial. So you can stay here. And he's like, I'm going to the real. I'm like, other niggas, I let you. I'm not gonna pay you. So whenever I was at your house, then.
So basically, he made a deal with her for $110 or maybe $100 in the street, takes her to his place, and doesn't pay her. And then says she can stay there for a couple days. And then later on, he tries to kick her out. I think this was after sex. And he rinses and repeats with another woman doing this. We're going to be doing a deeper dive into this gentleman on the next episode of The Hood Has Eyes. That's what I would call this one, The Hood Has Eyes. But we are going to dig deeper into a lot of crime stories as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're going to still do all the other social media stuff, but I was really shocked to find out that a lot of men and women don't know how really bad the situation is out there. And with that, I want to play Malcolm one more time. Here we go.
Disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to respect our women and to protect our women. And the only time a Muslim really gets real violence is when someone goes to molest this woman.
And then I want to play this just to give you a little. Let me go back.
A slap becomes a good option. Said at that point, once you've exhausted all other options, then a slap becomes a good option.
And one more time.
Let me explain what I mean. He's like, women have a way of not knowing how to let things go. You can give up the argument. You can let it go. They can know they've won. There's nothing else to be gained. They will continue to push and push and push. And he said, at that point, once you've exhausted all other options, then a slap becomes a good option.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's how I think I will end this live stream. Let me go ahead and hit the beat. Here we go.
Pull up a chair, the family's here. Voices are warm, the vibe is clear. The love goes around. Ooh, DJ Torch and friends, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Yeah. Laughter and truth, a gentle sound. Hearts open wide when the love goes round. About to go down. Love goes around, it lifts, it flows. Love goes around and everybody knows. Love goes around from me to you. Love goes around, it always comes through. Yeah, yeah. Love goes around. We share, we laugh, we grow. Respect the space. Love goes around. That's our cue. It's not a party without you, without you, without you, without you.
All right. Shout out to Actor Under Pressure, Deontay, Pink Boy Queen,
Round and round and round it goes, love goes
everyone.
around.